Modi government's latest move to amend the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act or FCRA has sparked a fresh political showdown ahead of 5 state elections, with Congress MPs leading a protest at Parliament's Makar Dwar, holding a placard that read, "Stop targeting NGOs and institutions." They also raised FCRA Amendment Vapas Lo slogans. In the Parliament too, opposition resorted to ruckus and sloganeering. They are fuming over the FCRA Amendment Bill that seeks to tighten the rules around how NGOs handle foreign funding. The outrage continued even after Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju told the opposition that the bill won't be taken up today.
मैंने कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेताओं को कल भी बताया, आज भी बताया कि आज FCRA बिल जो लिस्टेड है वो कंसिडरेशन के लिए टेकअप नहीं किया जा रहा है। और दूसरी बात, FCRA को लेकर के गलत फहमी जो फैलाया गया है केरल में, ये ठीक बात नहीं है। नेशनल सिक्योरिटी, नेशनल इंटरेस्ट, इसका ध्यान में रखते हुए पैसा का गलत इस्तेमाल ना हो, इसका निगरानी के लिए एक अच्छा कदम रहा है और यही सरकार कर रहे हैं। किसी धर्म के खिलाफ नहीं है, किसी संगठन को टारगेट नहीं किया जा रहा है। यह केरल में चुनाव को देखते हुए कांग्रेस और कम्युनिस्ट वालों ने गलत बात को फैलाया गया है। The Congress and Communist Party are misleading the people of Kerala.
Now, at the heart of this controversy is a key amendment that allows the creation of a designated authority. What will this designated authority do? It means that if an organization loses its FCRA license, if it gets cancelled, surrendered or seized, the central government can step in, appoint an authority and take control and management of its funds and assets. The government argues this closes legal gaps and prevents misuse. But the opposition, including Congress and left, are up in arms. They say this is the state entering spaces it never controlled before. Leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, also went a step ahead and dragged in the RSS. He said FCRA Amendment Bill gives a decisive advantage to the RSS in accessing funding, while leaving charitable and other community welfare organizations at the mercy of the centre.
Now suddenly we notice that an FCRA bill has been brought in. And what is interesting is there is only one organization that can get money from abroad. No other organization can get money from abroad except the RSS. Mr. Modi can get finance from abroad through Mr. Adani, and the RSS can get finance from abroad. Nobody else can get it. What is so special about the RSS? That they have special rules for them? They spread hatred, they spread anger, they divide people. So that is the way the BJP functions. Everything is done for Mr. Adani and Mr. Ambani or for their political organization. We do not work simply for our organization. They don't care about the people, they only work for their organization.
Now the government is countering the narrative pushed by the opposition. They are accusing Congress and left of deliberately misleading and fear-mongering over the FCRA amendment. Government says that the new provisions are being misread deliberately to create a false impression that the centre is moving to take over NGOs and even religious institutions. The government's response is straightforward, that this is not a takeover law. This is a regulatory framework. Let's take a look at the details, why this entire controversy and that particular provision that has led to this massive political storm. FCRA Act 2010, it regulates foreign funding to NGOs and other institutions. Now, the amendment bill and the changes, centre can appoint a designated authority in case the license is cancelled, surrendered or seized. FCRA Act 2010, it ensures money doesn't get misused. As far as the amendment bill is concerned, if FCRA license is cancelled, then the authority that has been created by the centre can act. Let's take a look at other provisions. No misuse for anti-India activities. That's what the FCRA Act 2010 says. FCRA Amendment Bill says authority can take control of funds and assets as well. And this is that one specific provision that has led to this political controversy. 2010 Act says, and it came into force on the 1st of May 2011. As far as the Amendment Bill is concerned, it can manage and supervise foreign funds. And this is what the opposition says is taking control of the institutions. 16,000 organizations have been registered as far as the FCRA Act 2010 is concerned. The amendment bill says it can temporarily control properties as well. Let's go back to what 2010 Act says. Annual funding inflow, 22 crores per year. as far as the amendment bill is concerned, if license is restored, the assets to be returned. So it's not just the fact that the center can step in or the authority can step in and take control, it will be returned. If the license is restored, then the assets will be returned. There is a clause that has triggered the biggest outrage, and that is Special Clause 16A, subsection 7. This one deals with places of worship. The law says if such assets are involved under the purview of the FCRA and if its license is cancelled or surrendered, the designated authority can hand over the management or the operation to a person in a manner to be prescribed. It also mandates that the religious character of the place of worship must be maintained. The government says there are safeguards. The opposition says this opens the door to control. And that's where the politics kicks in. In poll-bound Kerala, both the left and the Congress are calling this a targeted move against minority institutions.
I think it's a terrible bill. How can the government take on the right to confiscate schools, hospitals, orphanages built over a century by church groups? And I'm a Hindu, but I have gone to church schools, I've gone to Christian schools. I know the social service they are doing. The government has no right to take over such schools and colleges. It is wrong. This amendment must go to a standing committee and be studied more carefully.
When the FCRA Amendment Bill was introduced, I had opposed it on the first principles of constitutionalism. The bill is arbitrary, it is mala fide, it is capricious, it does not measure on the touchstone of constitutionality. It offends Article 14, Article 19, Article 21, Article 300A of the Constitution of India, and therefore it needs to be very strongly opposed.
This government is prone to weaponize the laws in order to stifle opposing voices and civil society. Like they have weaponized the PMLA, now they're attempting to weaponize the FCRA. By weaponizing the FCRA, by giving it draconian powers, they will stifle civil society. They will have a chilling effect on NGOs, which are giving voices to the marginal communities.
The government is having a political agenda. They wanted to take away the rights of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and OBCs. And those organizations which are working for them, they wanted to stop their resources. This is a very sad part and agenda of the BJP to stop those organizations which are helping our poor people. And we will, opposition, particularly Congress party, will not allow this to happen. Congress party has asked all the Kerala MPs and Tamil Nadu MPs to be present here, and we will oppose the bill vehemently, and we will not allow the bill to be passed today.
The FCRA amendment is a draconian law which will come up in the parliament. There are hundreds of organizations, NGOs working in this country who have ended the operations or limited the operations after the 2014 amendment. A lot of restrictions are already in place. But unfortunately, the new amendment will make sure that once the renewal is not done by any bureaucrat, the government of India can take over the organizations, which is not happening.
Provisions of the bill is against the basic fundamental rights of the religious minorities, in particular the Christian community. They are doing a lot of charitable works, missionary works in the field of health and education in our country. But through this amendment, the government is proposing to shift it towards a control and administration. It is indirectly controlling and administering the establishments which are getting the foreign funds. So it is basically attacking the minorities, in particular the Christian community.
वे चाहती है कि सरकारी संस्थाएं हो चाहे गैर सरकारी संस्थाएं हो, उनके मन मुताबिक चले, इसीलिए ये अमेंडमेंट बिल लेके आ रहे हैं। फॉरेन रेगुलेशन बिल आ रहा है कंट्रीब्यूशंस का। मैं समझती हूँ ये भी कहीं ना कहीं गैर संस्थानिक संस्थाएं जो अच्छा काम कर रही है उसमें नकेल कसने का काम सरकार कर रही है। पूरी तरह से लोकतांत्रिक है ये जो किया जा रहा है, और पूरी तरह से मेंटेन में सरकार सब संस्थाओं को चलाना चाहती है।
सरकार जो भी बिल लाएगी वो देश की जनता के खिलाफ ही हो। आज तक जितने बिल आए, कुछ पूंजीपतियों के पक्ष में और कुछ लोगों ने अपने पक्ष में कर लिए, लेकिन जनता के लिए एक भी बिल आज तक नहीं आया। उनको रेगुलेट करने के बहाने ये चंदा लिया करेंगे उनसे, और उनका फर्जी दिखा देंगे कहाँ सही काम हुआ और क्या काम हुआ इनमें, इनके जरिए।
Opposition said. Now, in wake of the upcoming elections, the entire war of words is intensifying. Let's take a look at what Mr. Kiren Rijiju, who is the Chief Minister of Kerala, has said to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. His primary demand is that this should be withdrawn. He goes on to say, powers to authorities are concerning. He's talking about the designated authority that will be created, that will step in. Apprehension over sweeping powers. Kiren Rijiju also says concerns can't be called baseless. He wants these concerns to be addressed. Existing law already tackles misuse. So why do you need this amendment? Also goes on to say that this could adversely affect institutions, religious groups, and that's the reason why, according to the Chief Minister of Kerala, the minorities are concerned. He wants the Prime Minister to intervene in the matter. The basic primary demand is to withdraw the amendment. The BJP has hit back at the opposition, saying this law is only for those who misuse foreign funds and that transparency cannot be negotiated.
Congress and the CPM want to make more of it, then it is politics. It is 9 days to election and they will manufacture a controversy. But for anybody who tries to understand FCRA, it simply says this reform, it simply says this: if you have given some reasons as part of your FCRA application, and you violate those reasons and misuse the money that you have received from abroad, then it will amount to almost tantamount to money laundering, and therefore you will be running afoul of the normal laws like Money Laundering Act. That is what this reform is about.
And with that, we're slipping into a very short break. We have a lot more lined up on the other side.